Have you ever wanted to play at the highest competitive level, experience the joy and glory but are limited to your budget? You are not alone. It's a real problem not being able to invest in all the cards you want or dive into a new format. But today, I will show you 5 decks under $20 or 5 tickets that are competitive in Pauper. And thanks to their loan program, you can rent the entire deck for free on Card Hoarder. I will also show you the upgrades you can make to these decks according to your budget. Starting with Mono Red Burn. A very popular one thanks to the Monastery Swiftspear, and that can cost as low as $20 if you play more of a burn approach with cards like Lava Spike, Flame Rift and Fire Blast. This deck is around 4 ticks in MTGO, but with some minor tweaks, you can upgrade it to add more grindy elements like Grand's Resolve and a creature like Kessig Flame Breather. This upgrade will cost you around $10 on paper, which is reasonably cheaper than the best deck version. Our next deck is a classic Boros midrange. This deck relies on the core engine of Glidhawk and Gore Skyfisher to return cards like Lembas and Barbed Butterflies to your hand and gain more value. The base deck price without a sideboard is below $20 in real life and only at 2.5 ticks in MTGO. Sideboard options for it are Cast into the Fire and Gorilla Shaman against Affinity, Dawnbringer Cleric against Burn and Boggles, and Tormod Script against Terror decks. As far as upgrades go, you can invest on Relic of Progenitus, which helps a lot against Terror and Pyroblast for the same reason, but other than that, the deck is pretty much similar to the budget version. An even cheaper deck is Mono White Heroic, whose base price is under $15 on paper and around 2.5 ticks on MTGO. This pseudo Boggles strategies requires you to play the small creatures like Sacred Cat and Akroan Skyward to make them bigger threats with the help of cards like Ethereal Armor and All That Glitters. Sideboard options include Spirit Link and Lifelink against Burn, Revoke Existence against Affinity and Boggles, and again Tormod Script against Graveyard strategies. The upgrades for this one are replacing 4 planes with Ancient End and Benevolent Blessing to improve your All That Glitters. The most optimal version of the deck also adds Standard Bearers against Gates and Dust to Dust against Affinity. For all the Swamp fans, we got Mono Black Sacrifice at around $20 in paper and roughly 3 ticks on MTGO. The plan is to play cheap creatures like Carrion Feeder and Mortician Beetle that can grow over time with fodder cards like Shambling Ghast and Dust Legion Zealot. As far as Sideboard goes, Nihil Spellbind is a cheap addition for black decks to run. Against control matches we can rely on Duress, and Mukutai Ambusher is a solid option to add against burn decks. I want to point out that all these budget decks are based on the upgraded versions that made good results in the leagues. In this deck's case, the upgraded version includes Snuffout and Bolt Whispers. However, Mono Green Aggro is a deck that has remained the same for ages, and it's the cheapest competitive deck you can get on both paper and online. You play small creatures that pack a punch like Nail Sentinel or Bayou Grove, and surprise your opponents by dealing lots of damage with cards like Binds of Basswood or Hunger of the Hullpack. The sideboard includes Lethal Sabotage against Artifact decks, Scattershot Archer against Fairies, and Epic Confrontation to add or aggro decks. Sideboard is the only thing you will need to upgrade on this deck, as you can add Weather the Storm to battle burn decks and Gutshot against Fairies or Little Toughness creatures. Some cards like Relic of Progenitus, Pyroblast and Hydroblast are some of the most popular and expensive cards in both paper and online, which you can replace for cheaper ones, like Tormod Script for Relic of Progenitus, Active Volcano for Pyroblast, and Flash Flood for Hydroblast. While these are not perfect replacements, are budget ones that can be used in the meantime. Remember, these decks are an excellent starting point to begin grinding and building your collection. As you win more, you'll be able to invest in upgrades or explore new ones.